Hey everybody, it's Americlown, and I feel that I have to put this video out there, and I want people to know why I feel the way I do, because there's so much negativity towards this movie right now. And the movie that I'm talking about that I will kind of review is called Madam Web. I just saw it last night, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it, and I'm amazed how everything you see on YouTube is against this movie completely. But I went ahead and watched it because I just wanted to have an open mind and see what was what. So I saw it, and I listened to a lot of the complaints that a lot of people had in the videos that they posted on YouTube. And I could see some of those things. Like there's a scene where it looks like the actors are talking, but their mouths are moving, and there's not really, the lines that are being said are not coinciding with what's being shown on screen. But it is not as big a deal as people are making it out to be. I enjoyed this movie. I did. And the thing that kind of amazes me is how so many people are saying negative things about this, but they're the same people who say negative things about what Disney is doing. And I find that weird because this is the only alternative that there is. Why would you not want to support this? Oh, because it's bad, because it's this, because good isn't great, it's not good enough. Well, I thought it was good enough. A lot of people said, well, you know, Madam Web, Dakota Johnson doesn't look anything like the Madam Web in the comic. She's not in a wheelchair. Watch the movie. Watch the movie. She's not old. It takes place in the past. Like a quarter century practically in the past. Watch the movie. You know, it explains why things are the way they are. And, you know, I can get some people's criticism. They hardly wore their costumes in the movie because in the movie they weren't who they were supposed to be just yet. It's kind of a Terminator-esque vibe, I guess. I just don't get, I don't know. I think to myself, again, yes, this is the only alternative there is to the stuff that Disney's putting out. And people say, well, no one wants these characters. I highly doubt anybody wanted Guardians of the Galaxy until they saw it and it came out. What about the granddaddy of them all, Blade with Wesley Snipes? Did anybody know who Blade was? I did because I was a kid and I know the comics, so yeah, I knew who he was. Anything handled correctly has a potential to become something. And I'm not saying that this is Blade or Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that, but is it good enough? Yes, it is good enough. And another thing that bothers me is that a lot of people who complained about the Marvels are also complaining about this, saying that this is the Marvels Part 2. I question if these people honestly believe what they actually believe, if they're going to say that. Because there is a huge difference. That's like saying that the Cameron Diaz Charlie's Angels is the same as the Elizabeth Banks Charlie's Angels. If you can't see the difference, there's something wrong. This one is not like the Marvels. The Marvels was like the Elizabeth Banks Charlie's Angels. Madam Web is like the Cameron Diaz Charlie's Angels. There's a big difference. Another thing is people keep saying, they said this about Morbius too. They said, this movie comes off like a film that should have came out 20 years ago. If, you know, people said Morbius belonged like with the Ben Affleck Daredevil or the Kate Beckinsale Underworld. You know what problem I have with that? Nothing. Take me back to when I was a kid 20 years ago. It's way better than it is right now. Way better. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I just don't get it. People should be supporting this if you don't like the horrible writing that's coming out of a lot of other projects right now. I don't see why people wouldn't support this. Why they wouldn't support even Morbius. I'm sorry, I enjoyed that too. I don't think it's as bad as everybody else says it is. And people say, it had all these plot holes, it had this, it had that, they removed all references to Spider-Man. I get that. But I don't blame Sony for that. I blame Disney for that. And here's why. Look at the photos. Look at the set photos that they had of Jared Leto. He's walking past posters of Spider-Man where it says murder and stuff like that. They were trying to incorporate it with the death of Mysterio in Far From Home. The thing is, and I guarantee you, they did not know that they were going to have all this Doctor Strange multiverse stuff, so they had to pull all that out of Morbius. I guarantee you that's what it was. They did not know that. And you're going to say, how could they not know that? Trust me, they want the rights to Spider-Man. That's how they didn't know that. And they probably had to move things around with this one as well. And people say, there's no references to Spider-Man. There's plenty of references to Spider-Man in this movie. There were other people in the theater. People keep showing you footage of, there was no one in the theater but me. There were a few people in the theater other than me. They knew Uncle Ben was Uncle Ben in the movie. They knew who the baby was going to be. And they even liked the early 2000s references. You see Dakota Johnson driving past Blockbuster Video. They liked that. They liked the music, like Toxic by Britney Spears was in it, you know, stuff like that. But not to mention Sydney Sweeney, man. How could you not want to see it for her? How could you not? She's freaking beautiful, man. How could you not want to see it for her? I don't get this. I don't get it. You know, and there were mentions of power and responsibility. We know all about that. And they were not trying to replace Peter Parker or even Miles Morales or anybody like that. They were being their own. I'm sorry, I thought it was good. Was it perfect? No. Was it edited perfect? No. But just like Morbius, I think they had to make do with what they had. Okay, I'll say this. Was it anything that the Russos did? No, it was not. You know, was this movie Captain America the Winter Soldier? No. Was it Civil War? No. Was it Infinity War? No. But I'll tell you what this movie was not also. It was not Wakanda Forever. It was not Quantumania. It was not Multiverse of Madness. It was not The Marvels. It was not She-Hulk. It was not pretty much everything other than Guardians 3 or No Way Home that they put out since Endgame. It was better than all of that. It was better than all of that. And yes, I believe Morbius was better than all of that too. I don't see how anybody could think that. This is the only alternative there is. Why would you not want to support it? Why not? It was good.